I hope my screen is visible to all of you and my voice is also clearly audible to you. If any problem persists, please let me know. So I think we have started unit number 6 in last week, and recent lecture I think we have discussed this employee involvement, why employee involvement is important. Then we have seen how employee can be uh, involved in the organization for various tasks. And then we have seen supplier partnership, why it is important, how this business relationship can be maintained in a business with supplier especially. And we have seen Dr. Koro Ishikawa's supplier partnership principles. There are 10 principles that we have discussed last lecture. Then we have seen various tools of quality control, tools of quality control. And I think we have seen three tools last lecture. What is meaning of check sheet, histogram, Pareto chart, right? So I think we have discussed up to Pareto chart. We have seen examples of check sheets like operator A, operator B working on machine 1 and 2 respectively in afternoon and morning session. How many times that person has called a supervisor for certain problems. So this example we have seen. Also we have seen defects in soldering. So certain defects are there in soldering, so that we have seen how many times that frequency arise, right? So this sample check sheets we have seen. Then we have seen histogram. So histogram, this picture itself is indicating histogram. Some people say like bar graph. Okay. So we have seen how it is drawn. Then we have seen Pareto chart. Basically, Pareto chart works on 80-20 rules, and we have seen like 80% problems are arising due to 20% of problem. So that what are the 20% problem? If you eliminate that, 80% problem will automatically get eliminated, right? That we have seen, and I think we were at this point, cause and effect diagram. Can you hear me clearly? Okay, will do. Just a minute. Hello. 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 Okay. I hope I am audible to you people clearly once again. Okay, so we were at this particular point, cause and effect diagram. So cause and effect diagram is basically demonstrate the relationship between effect and their causes. So certain cause, if it is there, definitely effect will be there. So there is a relation between effect and cause. So that diagram is known as cause and effect diagram. So what relationship it indicates? A relation between effects and causes. So we are well known about these two words. If there is certain causes, effects are going to be there, right? So that relationship, this diagram particularly indicates. The arrangement of the diagram is look like fishbone. So all of us know fish bones, right? Those are vegetarian or non-vegetarian. Still, they know the fish bones or internal parts are related to bones of any of the fish. So that diagram is looks like fish bones. So that's why this diagram is also called as a fish bone diagram. Okay, and it is also called as a Ishikawa diagram. And this is the name of basically um, this inventor. That's why from inventor's name that diagram name is given. So Dr. Koro Ishikawa, right? So well-known philosopher in the field of quality. So from the name of that particular inventor, this Ishikawa diagram name is given. So how to prepare this cause and effect diagram? Very simple steps are there. So in first step, you people have to identify the effect. What effect is there on product, maybe on any of the process you are doing, or let us take example of product. You will understand clearly. So at the beginning, you have to identify the effect, or you have to identify the problem. For example, blowholes in the casting. This is the problem. Definitely blowholes, or all of us knows, those who learn metallurgy, right? All of you learn metallurgy, so you know blowholes in the casting, right? So forget about technical detail. I am telling example. So this is the effect, or this is the problem, and what may be the causes. कारण काय असू शकतात? Causes may be the manpower mistake. Cause may be the machine problem. So here there may not be machine, but machine problem may be there in various processing. If you take the example of turning, so you can say like due to turning, due to machine speed, surface finish not achieved like that. Then material methods, material and methods, not material method, material comma method. So these four M's are causes basically in uh, product fabrication, especially. Then these are the main causes basically: manpower, machine, material, method. If there is something wrong, then definitely there will be the problem, or there will be a effect. Then you have to identify or note the sub cases. Manpower, मग manpower ने काय केलं? काळजीपूर्वक काम केलेलं नाही. That may be the cause, sub cause, right? And then at the end you have to draw the fishbone diagram. So what are the benefits of it? You can break down the problem to find out root cause. You will identify where is the exact problem. There are main causes like manpower, machine, material, method. Exactly where is the problem, that you can easily identify with the help of this cause and effect diagram. And here people will get motivated towards the teamwork. So let us discuss this diagram with example in detail, so that you will get clear idea about fishbone diagram. So this is a basic diagram of or example, you can say a cause and effect diagram of blowholes in casting. Let us see one by one. So what you have to draw at the beginning, you have to draw four main causes. What are the main four main causes? Every time, manpower, equipment, material, methods, right? Nothing else. These are the main causes. Okay. And what is the problem? Or you can say defect, you can say here. What kind of defect example we have taken? Blowholes in casting. Okay. So this is a basic effect. Blowholes casting मध्ये येत आहेत. हा इफेक्ट आहे तुमच्या प्रोडक्टवरचा. What are the causes? Main causes first try to understand. Look at the diagram in a square box. You can say main causes are manpower, equipment, material, method. Now, what may be the sub causes? It is very important. Now you have to start preparing sub causes. So let us start with manpower. So this is the cause. Manpower is the cause. But what is the sub cause? Here sub cause is very important. For example, careless worker. Worker is very casual. Worker is careless, and he is not doing his job properly, carelessly. He is not pouring that molten metal properly. So this may be the one cause, and that's why if defect or effect you can say that is a blowholes in casting. Then you can say inadequate skill of worker. That person himself is not knowing how to pour the material or how much heating is required. So that skill is not there with that particular worker. This may be the sub cause. Main cause is manpower, and these are the two sub causes: careless worker, inadequate skill of worker. I am telling one example. Okay, so I hope you are getting. The next cause is equipment. This is the main cause. That's why you are getting blowholes in casting. For example, rusty old molding boxes. If you are using old molding boxes, then definitely blowholes will be there. This may be the sub cause. Okay. The next one is the method. Due to that, you are getting blowholes. For example, hard rammed mold. If you are having hard rammed mold, then this is sub cause. This method is a main cause. What is the sub cause? Hard rammed molds. That's why blowholes are getting. Then cores not properly backed. If you are not, a core is required, right? So if you are not backed the core properly, then also there may be the chance of blowholes. Or again, another cause is there, like molds not adequately vented. This may be the sub cause. Okay. Then material. For example, material is the main cause, and sub cause may be like rust and moisture on cheels, chaplets, and inserts used. Or another sub cause may be excessive moisture content in the molding sand. Okay, this may be the sub cause. So now you can see, friends, there are basic four main causes, and there may be the multiple sub causes for every main cause, and you have to start writing it. This is the basically diagram which is called as a cause and effect diagram, or Ishikawa diagram, or fishbone diagram. Okay, so in industry, if there are problems, any of the problem, people start preparing the this fishbone diagram, because this main causes may be from various department. It is a mistake may be anywhere. Like for example, if production department is doing mistake, okay. So now I was talking about the in industry there may be the any problem, and if you want to find out the root cause, what is the problem? Where which department is doing mistake? And that mistake may be from any of the department. I was talking like maybe design department may make mistake, maybe purchase department may make mistake, or production department may make mistake, or anywhere, in any department. And as you, all of us know, this is a teamwork. If you are producing any product, this is a teamwork, right? All of us should be agree, it is not one person's role. And collectively, all of us, all of you working in industry, and you are achieving some goods or service. And if that particular product or goods or service is having certain defect, how to find out it? People start maybe blaming, like तुमच्या department मधून problem आहे, तुमच्या department मधून problem आहे. So higher authority, management level, do this process. What they do, they first understand the problem, they define the problem. If this product is defective, means that defect itself is a problem, they define it. Then they find out the main causes, like here we have mentioned man, machine, material, method, right? And then they start finding the sub causes among production department. What may be the mistakes? They start making list of it, they put it on this particular diagram. Again they reach to design department, they start making list what may be the problem. And then they come with conclusion, there is a certain problem with so and so department, and it should be improved. And in this way people work for quality. And this is one of the tool which is very effective in industry for the finding the causes for certain problem. I hope you understood, and it is very generalized. On one paper you can mention everything, and you can come with certain conclusion, right, related to problem. I hope you got the clear idea related to this. Anything anybody want to ask? Because I have one question related to this, or we can say exercise. Small exercise will be there. I hope you understood clearly. Now, from my side, take any example of problem or effect, and you have to tell me one main cause and one sub cause. Okay, in chat box you have to put any of the effect. You understood meaning of effect slash problem. Effect and problem, same thing. And why that effect is happening, or why that problem is arising, due to certain causes. So what you have to write in chat box, main cause, any one cause. You can consider like manpower is one cause, equipment, method, material, any of the one cause you can identify, and you have to write one sub cause for that problem. Okay, I hope you understood this task which I have told to you. Yes, have you understood what I'm telling to you? Okay, I'm waiting. You can get 2 minutes for this. Only one I am telling. If somebody will write more problems and more causes, no issue. At least one. Let me see. Have you understood this? Because most of the time you have to do this task in industry. Can you hear me? Have you understood my problem or task? You can say. I'm waiting for your answer. Any of the cause, maybe industry, mechanical problem, any of the chemical industry problem, any problem you can, or cause, effect you can mention, and cause of that. For example, one more hint I will give to you so that I will understand. Suppose failure in electricity multiple times. Okay, this may be the effect or problem, you can say. Effect or problem. Same thing we have to understand. Failure of electricity multiple times. Now, what is the causes of it? Main cause, suppose you can say equipment or machine, right? So, DPs, right? You can consider as a DP, or this is a machine main cause, or you can say equipment main cause. What may be the sub cause here? Like overloading of DP. Multiple people started using higher load. So that may be the sub cause, right? So like that. So like that you can think. So many problems all of us are knowing, but we don't know causes why it happens. Nobody. Okay, I have given two examples. If you have not understood still, because from last 3 minutes I didn't find any reply in chat box. Have you understood at least? Okay, this will be the exercise that you have to submit later on. Okay, so think over it. If you are not able to think now, so during submission of a certain task, assignment submission, there will be this task individual has to perform. So there you can submit if you are not clicking now. Okay, but I have given sufficient explanation. If any doubt is there, please ask now only. Okay, so I hope there is no doubt. So let us proceed to next tool, that is scatter diagram. Okay, so this diagram itself is explaining you what is the meaning of scatter diagram, right? So there are certain points by graph, right, on x-axis and y-axis. So friends, basically it is a statistical tool which shows the trends of two variable. Trends means whether it is increasing trend, decreasing trend, right? So that trend, that two variables will indicate. For example, cutting speed versus tool life. Basically, in scatter diagram, there are only two parameters. One parameter will be represented on x-axis. One parameter will be represented on y-axis. Okay, one will be on x-axis and another will be on y-axis. Two parameters will be there. And if you plot that parameter on x and y axis, then you will get one diagram, and that diagram is called as a scatter diagram, which also tells you trends of two variable. For example, I was talking cutting speed versus tool life. If cutting speed will increase, then what is the if, uh, effect on tool life? Whether it will decrease, it will increase. So we don't want to go into technical details, but try to understand. On one axis, that is on x axis, there will be cutting speed, okay, and on y axis there will be the tool life, maybe in hour, maybe in day, okay, and cutting speed maybe rpm, okay. So you have to draw this cutting speed, how much, then how much tool life, cutting speed so and so, then how much tool life. You have to plot certain points on your graph, and then you have to draw one certain line through that points. You should not join all the points to draw the graph, but certain trend you have to draw. Let it be increasing, decreasing, right? For example, another speed and average of vehicle. If you increase the speed of vehicle, what is the effect on average of vehicle? So that kind of graph means I want to tell, like, you need two parameters or two variables which you have to draw on one axis and another on y axis, and you have to draw. So very simple thing. And what is the benefit of it? It will demonstrate the correlation between value and showing trends of value change. This is a very important benefit of it. It will show trend of that two variables. Getting? So this is the scatter diagram. Very simple. Okay. So in quality department, people follow this kind of thing. Then last bit of this particular chapter, that is control chart. So we have seen, I think, at the beginning of like Shewhart has invented this control charts, right? In the first lecture, we have seen of this particular chapter. So what is the control chart? Control chart is a statistical tool showing whether a process is in control or not. Okay, so a very simple thing. This particular graph or this particular tool will show you that whether process is in control or out of control. So basically, this control chart is having two limits, lower limit and higher limit, or upper limit, you can say, and central line or average line, or you can say particular line. So on x axis, on average line, you can say like time will be there. On y axis, certain process will be there, process performance. So as time passes, what is the effect of that particular process? As time passes, what is the effect on that process, whether it is going at higher limit or lower limit, right? So like that, uh, it will show various limits, and if that peak is above the upper limit or lower limit, then you have to understand there is a certain problem. This thing is out of control. So control charts can be prepared like that. So it represents graphic display of process stability or instability over a specified time. So that I have told. It will show stability. As time passes, what is the effect of process? Whether it is going above the upper limit, or it is about the average limit, or it is going below the lower limit. Below the lower limit also it is not allowed, and above the upper limit is it is also not allowed. Means you have to understand below the upper limit and above the lower limit, that a thing should be there. Then you can say everything is in a control. How to prepare the control chart? Very simple procedure. You have to first define the upper limit and lower limit and medium value, or you can say average value. Then you have to collect or gather the data or values, and you have to draw them into a chart. Very simple. And you will get, you have to join these points, and then you will get certain diagram. Okay, so that is nothing but a control chart. What is the benefit of it? Basically, it helps to monitor the different activities in the industry over a given time. If you want to analyze anything over the given time, then this is the appropriate tool. For example, in chemical industry, over the time, certain reactions are happening in reactor. Okay, for 1 second, for second, third, like that. So, for example, first second, how much heat is generated, second, how much heat generated, third second, how much heat is generated, right? So, like that, if you want to plot, then control charts are very, very essential. So, I hope you got the clear idea. So, this is a last chart. Yes, anything, any doubt? No? So, should we proceed? Okay. So last content beyond one more tool is there. So we have seen six tools. One more tool is missing in syllabus, that is a flow charts. Diagram itself is sufficient to you people. You will understand what is the meaning of flow chart. So friends, flow chart is a formalized graphic representation of a logic sequence, or you can say work or manufacturing processes, organization charts, or similar familiarized structure. Or you can say in simple language you can understand how things are flowing, how things are happening step by step. If you want to represent, so flow charts are very, very important, right? So this flow charts most of the time in a programming language to represent the logic of program, right? Most of the time people use it, and every symbol is having certain significance here that all of us know, right? So try to understand what is the meaning of oval shape, what is the meaning of that rectangle, parallelogram. So all of us know. So here this shapes plays very important role. So this is a small content band for you people, but it is important tool people use in a quality process. Okay, so this is about the sixth number unit. We have completed sixth units. Only 2 units remain. Maybe next 15 days. Within next 15 days, we can complete our seventh and eighth unit. Okay, so let us discuss MCQs on this particular chapter because it will be helpful to you people for your MCQ test as well as university examination. Okay, should we proceed to MCQ discussion now? Anything you want to ask related to unit number 6? That way, unit number 6 is very small but interesting. Certain tools you have learned, right? And remember, friends, this Excel in the Microsoft Office will be helpful to you people for such a tools. Okay, most of the people use Excel, so try to learn Excel in industry. It is very, very essential tool, right? So to represent graphical things, Excel will help you. Okay, so should we discuss MCQs? So you people can put your answer in chat box. Very generalized question. Those who were attending lectures carefully, so they can easily understand or answer these things. And most of the questions are like general knowledge. Let us see how many people can answer this. I will show question one by one to you. Let me zoom in so that you can see question clearly on your mobile screen. Okay, now I hope this screen is visible to you people. Okay, first question is there. The cost of performance testing of product comes under prevention cost, appraisal cost, internal failure cost, or external failure cost. So question I will elaborate once again. For performance testing, you have to spend money. Performance of that particular product. So this cost comes under what? So you will not able to answer this question. I know. So because this performance related things are not there in our syllabus, but appraisal related things are there in our syllabus. So all of us know performance appraisal, right? That word we have heard in previous some of the lectures. So appraisal cost is comes under this particular performance testing. So if you want to check the performance testing, then that cost comes under the appraisal cost. Okay. So now second question you can easily understand. Total quality management mainly aims for control for quality, usefulness of the product, customer satisfaction, cost control. Now this question you should answer in chat box. TQM mainly aims. What is the main aim of total quality management? You can put in chat box that you should answer. Very logical, right? Control for quality. Total quality management main aim or main purpose is to control the quality, nothing else, right? So answer is A. Then next one is that the satisfaction statistician who invented the control chart for use in the industrial quality was Deming, Taguchi, Pareto, Shewhart, none of the above. Now we have recently discussed about the control charts. We have seen some philosophers. So first philosopher which we discussed in unit number 6. Anybody remember? कुणी इन्व्हेंट केला कंट्रोल चार्ट? Shewhart. Okay. So Deming is well known for PDCA cycle, right? Taguchi optimization, Pareto 2080 principle, Shewhart control chart. Right. So answer is a D. Then next question recently related to flow control chart we have seen. The horizontal line in the control chart which shows the minimum value. Can you hear me at least? I am not getting responses from your side. Okay, so at least I am audible. Okay, okay. So question is the horizontal line in the control chart which shows the minimum value of quality characteristics before the process gets out of control, it is called as, or it is called the त्या हॉरिझॉन्टल लाईनला काय म्हणतात? कुठली लाईन म्हणायचं? आताच बघितलं आपण अप्पर लिमिट, लोअर लिमिट, लोअर कंट्रोल लिमिट. म्हणजे एखादी गोष्ट आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल जाण्याच्या आधी एक लोअर लिमिट असते. त्या लोअर लिमिटला काय म्हणायचं? लोअर कंट्रोल लिमिट. Okay, so very simple. Good. Somebody answered. I am happy with that. Now, next, in the horizontal axis of a control chart display, fill in the blank. In the horizontal axis of the control chart displays. Horizontal axis वर काय represent करतात बरं? In control chart, what is the answer? Sample number, time, either sample number or time, neither sample number nor time. So I have told like there may be the time also and there may be the sample number also. Okay, so answer is a C. On x-axis time is also you can represent, or you can represent the sample number. Okay, so this is also allowed. 6 number. TQM is a part of. Strategic management. Okay, so with that we have seen in introduction of this chapter total quality management. The next seventh number question, flow charts indicates. What is the answer? Flowchart, recently we have seen flowchart, cause of process variation, the kind of forms to fill out, who reports to whom, how inputs gets processed into output. Any guess? Flowchart मध्ये काय indicate होतं? How inputs get processed into output, right? So that we have seen in programming. If you give input, then how it is processed. All of us know at least the flow chart of programming, right? So what is there? So here in that flow chart, how inputs get processed into output, that is mentioned. So answer is a D here. Eighth number question: which of the following type of tools or technique is considered qualitative? All of us know quantitative and qualitative. If you measure certain things in a quantity, so these are the quantitative tools. And qualitative means based on quality. For example, histogram, we are measuring quantity, so quantitative. Frequency, quantitative. Pareto chart, 80-20 principle, quantitative. Remaining process observation, maybe the clear observation, clear vision. So it comes under the qualitative, right? So answer is a D. Then next one is a reaction plan is a flow chart and afterthought, a way of produce good product, or a checklist to use when things don't look right. Any guess? General knowledge question. रिएक्शन प्लॅन म्हणजे काय? एखादी गोष्ट व्यवस्थित चालत नसेल, if certain things are not looks right, then you people have to prepare checklist. That is nothing but reaction plan. Cause and effect diagram is used in. कुठं वापरली जाते cause and effect diagram? Recently we have discussed problem identification, vendor survey, problem analysis, or negotiation with union. कुठं वापरली जाते most of the time? Recently we have seen. Any guess? No? Recently we have discussed, right? I think second last bit. Cause and effect diagram. प्रॉब्लेम अनालिसिसला आपण ब्लो होलचं प्रॉब्लेम अनालिसिस केलं बरोबर फ्यू मिनिट्स बॅक. So cause and effect diagram is used for problem analysis, nothing else. Fishbone diagram are drawn to find customer needs, to brainstorm cause and effect, to screen worker suggestion, to explain what the process does. Fishbone diagram means cause and effect diagram. So what is the purpose of it? To brainstorm causes of an effect. Name itself is telling cause and effect brainstorming. That is the purpose. Answer is a B there. Then when you take too many factors on fishbone chart, then option A, take top 10, inquire to find out which factor are suspected to be significant, conduct design of experiment, talk to customer. It may happens, right? So we have seen for blowholes almost 10 to 12 sub causes. And if there are too many factors, then what to do? You have to inquire to find which factors are suspected to be a significant. म्हणजे सगळ्यात खूपच प्रॉब्लेम अराईज झाले इन अ फिशबोन डायग्राम. देन यू हॅव टू इन्क्वायर विच फॅक्टर्स आर सस्पेक्टेड. संशयास्पद कुठला फॅक्टर आहे and which is having significant problem or cause, you can say. So you have to identify that, or you have to inquire about that. Okay, nothing else. Next question: which of these is not a part of a special process control, statistical process control seventh tool? म्हणजे ह्या खालच्या 4 ऑप्शन पैकी कुठलं टूल नाहीये आपण जे डिस्कस केले 7 टूल मध्ये? At least you can answer this. Pareto chart, yes. Histogram, yes. Design of experiment, don't know. Check sheets, yes. So answer is C. Design of experiment is not a SPC tool. Okay. The next question: process flow chart helps to explain. काय हेल्प करतात? प्रोसेस फ्लो चार्ट्स हेल्प्स टू एक्सप्लेन process steps and their relationship. How many steps are there and what is the relationship? That will be explained from flow chart. I am expecting answers from your side, but not happy today. I don't know what happens. Which of the following shape is used to present the termination in a flowchart? Anybody remember? You people may have drawn many of the flowcharts, whether rectangle, diamond, arrow, oval. कशाने आपण एंड करतो flowchart? It is a very general knowledge question from 7th tool, that is flowchart. फ्लोचार्ट एंड करायला कुठलं टूल शेप वापरतात फ्लोचार्ट मध्ये? ऍटलीस्ट यू शुड आन्सर दिस. ओव्हल कुठल्या पण फ्लोचार्टचा एंड बघा ओव्हल शेप मध्ये असतो. जस्ट चेक टुडे. सिलेक्ट वन विच इज नॉट अ QC टूल, क्वालिटी कंट्रोल टूल. कंट्रोल चार्ट आहे, चेकशीट आहे, स्कॅटर डायग्राम आहे, ट्री डायग्राम. No, it is not comes for quality control tool. So scatter diagram or remaining 3 are yes. Third number no. Fourth number no. So answer is a D. Eighty 20% tool which is there. 17 number question. 80-20 tool. Pareto analysis. Answer is a B. So now 18 number question. Fill in the blank. Also known as a tally sheet, in a form for systematic data gathering and registering to get a clear view of the fact. What is the answer? Check sheet. That is also called as a tally sheet. So answer is a C. 19 number, Pareto analysis is also known for 80-20 rule. Means 20%, 80% problems are arising due to 20% problem. So if you eliminate 20, so 80% automatically gets solved. Last question: what is the first step in the problem solving process? Plan, do, check, act मध्ये which is the first step? PDCA cycle of Deming. What is the first step in that? Plan, do, check, act मध्ये at least answer last one. Last one, at least you answer. Now, there is no big knowledge required to tell about PDCA cycle. I'm not happy today related to your answers. Remember, in some of the MCQ test, I am not happy with some people performance. They are getting 1-2 mark. Okay, so definitely term work is getting affected there. All of us know, based on we are getting giving more weightage to MCQ test for your term work, and people write very casually. They are not listening this discussion. So I hope you got the clear idea what I am telling. Now there will be a just a minute.